Hi everyone, Lukas from lucasgisbertphotography.com, and in this video I'm going to run by you a few stuff which I found online. Now, if you, like me, are a photographer or you are starting in photography, you probably know of the tool which is Photoshop. Now, everyone uses it. It's a common tool for every photographer. And depending on your level in photography, you may also got up your level in Photoshop. Now, I personally use Lightroom all the time as a wedding and portrait photographer, but you always have those times where you have that special picture which really kind of deserve a higher treatment, where you really want to make it pop, as much as Lightroom, is fine enough for, I would say, 95% of my work. There's always that little margin where things can really be improved and taken to the next level. Now, for this to be done, I believe that Photoshop CS6 or CS5 or whichever version you have is probably the best tool because it gives you more options. Now, the problem with a program like Photoshop, as much as the interface look pretty simple, it can get pretty complicated very quickly, and my recommendation is probably spend some time learning at it. Now, I personally haven't spent that time learning, and I've tried to kind of work things around with watching YouTube video and so on and so on. Now, I came across some tools which can be really, really handy if you, like me, are not an expert in Photoshop but want to get, the effects which really kind of bring your picture into life or really makes it look good. Now, the tools I found two different types of tools which I will explain. So the first one is actions which you actually add onto Photoshop, and this is from Ali Borba Photography. Now, she and I got in touch a few months back, and I just wanted to find out a bit more about her tools and how the actions works. And the way that it works is that, for example, she's on Photoshop and she's going to create a series of action, which means that she's going to touch the curve, she's going to touch the exposure, maybe a gradient tool or something, and she's going to put it together. And the only thing you're going to do is you can use it like a track. For example, you press play, and this is going to play onto your image. So the best way to explain, it's a music track. So you go your first picture, you press play on the action you want, and it's going to go through this action which she created and put it together to give you the last result. Now, the good thing about this is that it allows you to then go and tweak the action yourself to make it better. Now, you do need a few skills to be able to do this, but having this as a base is excellent, because I was actually able to work on some pictures within a click, and doing really what I wanted to do. The other thing which I found, I will go back into the Ali's action in a minute and show you some example, is our layers. Okay, layers can be quite handy depending on how the quality of layers. The ones which I found which are really good are from a photographer which is called Emily Patrishkov. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. She's a US photographer, and she's actually part of my group, which is Lukas group. You should join if you haven't. It's a good group where this kind of video discussion goes on, and she actually got these layers which are different type of leaves which you can add to your pictures, or different skies, and I find it really, really good. So let me go back to Ali's action and let me show you an example here. Okay, so let's have a quick look at an example of a picture where I actually combined the two tools to make the picture really popped. So this is a picture which I've taken in 2014, and it's one of the best pictures I've actually taken. I really, really love this picture. Now, obviously, we have, when talking quickly about the picture, so we had the sunset, which is at the back. We had one softbox on the front and one softbox at the back. And, the expression of the dog, the expression of the little girl, it was just such a good picture. I was so happy with it. It took so many tries to get them two together, and getting on top of this expression, it was really, really a win-win. However, this despite being, in my opinion, a really good picture, it's still got something missing. Let's have a quick look here. So the leaves here, for example, the leaves are brown. There is this part here which is a bit too green. Maybe a little light will be nice, and something to cover the picture. Let me explain. So this is the final picture here. Okay, so as you can see, there is quite a big difference despite being about the same. So what we did here is kind of made it a bit warmer, add the leaves from Emily's layers, and add a few sharpenings, a little bit sharpenings on the front, and that was pretty much it. So let me show you the way I did it. So once you've uploaded your actions, which is very easy, normally you just have to double click on your actions and this will work. This is actually called Dare to Dream workflow set. So here they have a lot of different actions. Let me run through a few of them. So for example, light, heavy color, rich color, portrait, essential. So you've got different ones, bright eyes, creamy skin tone, dream black and white. I mean, I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to go through the one which I wanted to use for this picture. So the first thing you're going to do is, I'm going to remove that. So fine. What I want to do first is warm up that picture. So that she has one which is called warm light. I think it's that one. Yeah. So very easy. You click on it and you just press play. Like I mentioned before, it works like a track, you know, a music track. Press play, and it's just gonna do it alone. So what she's done, she's also add some instruction on how to use it. So with a soft fuzzy white brush, add light to your image, start with 20% opacity brush, and after you can obviously work out what works best for you. So I'm gonna close this down, I'm gonna get my brush, I'm gonna make it a little bigger, and I'm gonna change the, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. Let me see the size. Okay, that works well for me. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is change the opacity to 20%. Okay, and as you can see here, I'm at 100%, so obviously it's far too much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop this down to about 77%, which is still a bit too much. Let's drop it down to 60. All right, okay, so 60. I know this is probably an easy thing to do when you kind of when you are good with Photoshop and you know what you're doing. But for someone who hasn't got the skills, this can actually really help you. So here I'm actually warming up the whole image here, making sure I don't go onto them too much. Okay, obviously after you just do it to your liking, you know, what works for you, what fits your style. Oops, okay, so let me see if I can take this off. No, no. Okay, so you get the idea of what I've done here. See, if I take on and off, on, off. Okay, it's not perfect, as you can see, you know, it's not perfectly done, but it's give you an idea. Let's add another tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to merge the layers. Layers, okay, and we're going to add another one. Let's add a bit of sharpness here. So go back to my actions and sharp me up. Wait, okay. So again, press play. So brush onto the subject eye, lips, and face with 30 to 50% opacity and brush. Also anywhere else you like, so where you like actually to sharpen the picture. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change my brush to something a bit more normal, And I'm just going to sharpen them a little. Okay, so make sure you have your white brush on the black background, and that's just going to sharpen them up. Okay, sharpen the dog, sharpen hair, little dress. Right, okay. Okay, so once this is done, let's go back to my finished product. Yeah, a bit different. You see, I've lighted them a little more, and that was it. Okay. Once I've done this, so I can use only 2 tools, but she has so much, and it works pretty much the exact same way. Let's put something else just for the fun of it. Oh, snowy day. Okay, no idea what is this. Okay, so this is actually changing your, yeah. So this will be good if you add maybe an image with snow on it. Obviously, this is not what I'm doing here. And as you can see here, you also have all the different layers which is used, so you can actually go and modify each one of them as you like. Now let's remove this because we don't want that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of the layers which Emily got me, which are, so what do I open it? I've got all of the different ones. So let's have a look at the maple overlay. So that is very, very simple to use. So you just select it all, copy it, and you just paste it onto the image here. And after it's for you to make sure it's kind of the size makes sense of the leaves. You know, they don't look too big or too small compared to the image. And here what I do is I would apply that, and I would erase some of them, especially the ones which are on front of them, because I want to keep them clean. There we go. And then remove a few of them, for example, you know, just to make it look a little more real, because obviously you now know that it's not real, but the final picture which share, you know, you wouldn't know. And that looks nice, settled. And if we take off everything we've done, so, and this looks so much better, you know, it really gives that extra pop which makes it the final image, you know. So from starting to where we started, there is a big difference, you know. And this is where those tools really come into place, where, you know, they help you by using Photoshop and by learning it, because when you start applying one of the actions, you can actually go inside each of them and understand how each one works and how you can make it your own. So let me guide you through their website and where you can find the stuff. Okay, so for the layers, you'll have to go to Emily's website, which is called Blue Earth Photography. I'll put the details down below. And what you want to do is just go for photographers. Now you can have a look at her work if you want, and you can find all the different layers which it has. A single old leaf, little yellow leaves. You've got the rose overlay, the map leaf which I was using. You also have a different color overlay, which you could give your picture a softer look, a better look. And you even have a firework overlay, which is pretty cool. But you also got some dramatic sky, which you could add to your image if you have a sky which is not interesting, or if you're looking for something with a bit more contrast or pop. So here you can find everything. So I'll put the details down below. Now let's have a look at Ali's actions and where you can find them. Okay, so this is Ali Boba Photography. So this is a website, and you can find those actions. I will show you for photographer actions. She also says some tutorials, and I do recommend you go and have a look at yourself. So it's very simple. She's actually doing a sale at the moment, $70 for a limited time, and that's compatible with CS5, CS6, CC. The layers from Emily are compatible with pretty much any type you have. So there it is, and you can just buy it straight away. I think for $70, you know, it really gives you a good base and give you a bit of more freedom. You know, if you like me, don't really like to spend too much time being on a computer and working on your images, I prefer to be out there and taking them, well, that it could be really a good option for you. So I'll put all the details down below, but have a look yourself, you know, go and have a look. If you have questions about the actual tools, you can contact Ali or you can contact Emily. You can also join our group, which is called Lukas group, and ask your question yourself in the group so you can share with the other people. I do think, you know, it has saved me some time. That picture which I've actually showed you is won 2 competition, and I think this was a part of the help, you know, percentage which helped me get to that level. It's just a really good tool, very easy to use, simple, and it does the job. So as I say, if you have any questions, you can contact them directly. I'll put the details down below, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Cheers, see ya.